So today is gonna be what I call a drawing day, where I'm gonna start to take note of all the electrical we have and really start drawing that diagram so I know what size wire we need and planning that out for length of the wire as well. So that's what I'll be getting to today. So I'm ready for the day. And I brought my book that I'll show you guys what it is that I got from the library. What I'm gonna do is just take pictures of all my household appliances. That way I can look up their, so like for example, this will say 120 volts, 50 to 60 watts, 12 amp. I'll need all of that information and different various information from all of like our essentials, like our fridge. Puck lights are pretty simple and straightforward, but I'll need all of that information to total up how much power and energy is going to be going through the system, and that will determine the thickness of the wire that we choose, or various ones if we go that route. So that's what I'm going to do, and then we'll show you the book in a little bit.
You bet. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Just handling business calls. If you don't know, I run a online and local business to Las Vegas. It's about living greener, so I do a whole bunch of refillable options for household and personal care products, as well as incorporate that with houseplants with my dad. And yeah, that's my plug. Check us out online or on Instagram. casagreen.lv on Instagram and casagreen-lv.com. I'm pretty sure I just gave her the wrong email, but oh well. I'm just so obsessed with these puppies. I know Kevin showed everyone on the stories what our two little bumps look like now on top of the end. Even this morning, right when I woke up, I popped my head out and I looked at them. Look at them! They're so freaking cute. Shout out to Kev and shout out to me. I was driving when we lost the replacement, but there was a day where Kev completely ran into a trash can after we were bickering. And he completely took off the entire, oh my gosh, look at how much light it brings in.
Squirrel!
That's awesome. Anywho, it completely took off our plastic bumper piece. It was not funny in the moment, but now I think it's pretty funny. This whole build has been like not a rush of things. Like we've taken a couple of years now, I think. Almost 2 years, right? April of 2022. So just over a year, I guess. And in between that, we've gotten married. We're paying off debt. I'm running a business. I started a new course to be a wellness coach. There's just so many, we had life in between everything, you know, and I think that's like one key point that maybe people skip over when they're building things, building vans, building homes, is like life still happens. Like you can't just put down everything sometimes and just jump into the build. Like that would be extremely nice, but, and we have dogs, they need to be walked, that takes time. I just came home. Kevin got me a card with flowers. I love this man so much. Okie dokie. So, we're back at home. We left the puppies with Grandma, and me and Kev, before he went to work, on this cute little card envelope. We like to reuse things around here. We got all the electrical devices, every single thing that we would ever plug in or use. We got that all figured out, and we kind of did a rough map on the layout that we drew with the measurements originally. We have like a rough outline of this chicken scratch of where our plugs and power needs to go. So I'm just gonna make some prettier charts. I might even color code them, but we'll just see how that goes, because the more organization in this part, I feel like it's going to help us when we get all up in personal with those wires. I just wanted to catch you guys up on basically what I learned and how my diagram is working. So I was reading this book on just wiring lights and switches. This is the book I was mentioning earlier, the Van Conversion Bible. I got it from our local library. So clutch. It was on the new releases. There's so much basic information in here that I feel like it's a great resource to first start out with, and then you can watch videos that you don't understand, because that's what I did. So I know that for our puck lights, we wanted a 3-way system. That means that we're gonna have 2 switches at different points of the van, and that we are gonna have a dimmer so we could turn it on and off and then lower the lights as well. The electrical layout is looking like this. I added a few things. So I have our power, our goal 0, our fuse box, and the dimmer switch in there, and then everything is gonna look like this. So I'm gonna break down each wiring for each thing, and when me and Kevin are wiring the van, we'll focus on one thing at a time, run the wires and everything. I really am not a pro, so I don't want to explain this, but I will shout out the Explorist Life on YouTube. They have the most informational electrical stuff or videos and explanations I've come across, and I've been watching videos for a very long time. And they have some diagrams as well as some kits that you can purchase off their website. So shout out to them. Thank you so much. But yeah, I think I'm going to start now on maybe something a little simpler, like the fan, because that's just straight to the fuse box, or the bus bar. They call it the same thing, I'm pretty sure, but you know, the technical stuff. So yeah, that's probably gonna be the rest of my night, and we'll catch you up when we do more electrical stuff, because electrical, framing, and insulation is like all in the same window of time, so we're really focusing on that. Hey there. Alright, welcome back to another morning in the van. Currently got all the electrical doodads going, seeing where everything's gonna be, getting familiar with it. I'm getting familiar with it. So I'm gonna just start wiring my basic 14 and 12 gauge around my masking tape points that I put up the other day. I'm kind of like halfway in the middle of our installation. Just to stay on track with our timeline, I'm just gonna start running the wire and maybe getting the lever nuts installed in there. That way we got some steps going. I will say that before I started this, I have done ample amounts of diagrams and notes that correlate with like all my layouts and everything. So that was the planning part, and now I'm getting into the building part. Let's get to it. Okay, so I do want to show my first wire I ever ran. I'm going to mount this better along here, and obviously will protect the wires from rubbing. But over here is where the wires connect, and I'm using these lever nuts because they snap into place and they seal off really well, and I just felt really confident about them. And then obviously I have my zip ties, and the wire follows the path that I laid out and comes all the way back down. And then when I get it here, once I cut it, I just kind of gently sealed the ends and labeled what it's supposed to be with, I feel like, enough slack, truly. So yeah, that's the first one. So exciting. Love this. Okay, I'm gonna get going. I have a whole bunch more to go. So here we do it. Alright, so I'm gonna show you quickly how I get this to look like this. I have my wire stripper here, and I have set the little thing to be a little bit longer, so I have plenty of room to get deep in there and make sure I get a good connection. So what I do is I strip the wire and then twist it so you don't get any frayed bits. Grab a lever nut. These open, so I open it up. You can see on the bottom, I want to make sure it gets past that metal point, and then it snaps in a shut, and you can make sure that's not going anywhere. Super simple, super awesome, super clean. Good morning. So yesterday I got kind of carried away with helping my mom and going to see my grandma, and then Kev got home, so we just hung out and had like a nice afternoon to ourselves. And I currently left the van like this. So before I want to like start putting in any of the more supports, because I finally got the nails and the nail gun, I'm probably going to run a few more wires and just get that handled, because I just don't want the insulation being like active in here when we're running wires and trying to connect them, because I don't want any piece of insulation in between these like little lever nuts or anything like that. So just focus on a little bit of electricity this morning. Should be finishing up framing. That might be in a different video though, so make sure to check that out in one of these corners. It's a pop-up, or it'll be linked in the description. But framing has been an ongoing process alongside electricity. So this puck light diagram was actually taking the longest because we're gonna have 2 switches and we're gonna have a dimmer. So I have all my notes and we're gonna get after it.